The Sterlingfest concert series got started on Thursday night, which was free Sterlingfest Sunglass Night sponsored by the Community Foundation. The night saw two of the favorites of Sterlingfest return, as first the Shy got the Rizzo main stage started. The trio, known for their acoustic rock, got the crowd fired up.
The other night at Trenton Dar's Continental, shoot the Five Mountain Stadium, a line, Leonard Bernstein, Leonette, Brezhnev, Lenny Bruce and Lester Banks, birthday party, cheesecake, jelly beans, boom, boom, patriotic, slam dunk net, right? It's the end of the world as we know it.
There goes in the corner.
Yes, a big new hit this year was the T-shirt cannons and Slingshots launching the officially licensed Sterlingfest T-shirts into the crowd. This was prior to the Square Pegs taking the stage. The female-fronted 80s tribute act closed out Thursday night of Sterlingfest. Friday night saw the Sterlingfest debut of Two Timing Band, a popular local country band. The band performed a few hard rock staples to go along with some popular country songs and many of their own music. Then Friday night was ended with the one and only Fleetwood Mac Mania. You may remember this band from 2009 when they were Fleetwood Dreams. The rebranded band wowed the audience with their authenticity to both Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks.
I took my love and I took it down. Climbed the mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. In the heat of the day, I hang my head down low and high.
Saturday night was the grand finale of Sterlingfest. At 6:30, Elsie Binks, the original up-and-coming band from Macomb County, who includes two Stevenson High School graduates, fired up the crowd before the headliner took the stage. Great acts this year at Sterlingfest. It started off with the Shy, followed by Square Pegs, Two Timing Band. We also had Fleetwood Mac Mania. Finally, we had opening for Soul Asylum. Behind me, we have Elsie Binks, and then it all came down to the headline act. Soul Asylum was formed in 1981, and after never seeing much of commercial success in the 1980s, this Minneapolis band almost called it quits, until their 1992 album, Grave Dancers Union, blew up the charts. It was a band that toured around, but you never had that commercial success, and then all of a sudden Grave Dancers came out. Can you talk about going from the early days of the club scene to next thing I knew you're playing in the inauguration in the White House?
Yeah, I think we put out a couple records on A&M Records, and they were kind of alternative records. That's when they started using the expression alternative, which meant alternative to what they know how to sell, basically. So when we went to Columbia, the music scene that we were part of was starting to get really kind of noticed. I mean, labels wanted to have a hard rock band or a punk band or whatever it is we're called, an alternative band. So Columbia wanted us and heard the demo tapes, and they kind of decided to promote it. And the first single was Somebody to Shove, and MTV was at its most popular zenith, or whatever you call that. And and then it was Black Gold and Runaway Train, and by the time Runaway Train came out, the record was pretty well known already, so that sort of put it over the top, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, it was good to not be an overnight success, and we sort of knew what we were doing when we got to Columbia, and they didn't know what we were doing. We had our own thing going on, our own fan base, and all this stuff that we'd sort of organically earned, if you will. So we'd already done tours of Europe and everything like that. And yeah, I guess it was just the right kind of record for the time.
Waiting by the phone, waiting for you to call me up and tell me I'm not alone.
The band won multiple Grammys and played both at the inauguration ceremony of Bill Clinton and then again on a separate occasion on the White House lawn. The band's music was also featured in multiple movies in the past 20 years. Sterlingfest was the end of a 12-week tour in support of Soul Sound's new album, Change of Fortune.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the same band, it's the same songwriter, it's the same singer. It's just sort of I guess a progression of what we've been working on for the last 30 years.
I've been vindicated, I've been loved and hated, I've been pulled aside.
Talk about you now live in New Orleans, great music area, but you started in Minneapolis. What is it about these cities that are just so great musically that inspire you?
I just saw DeVell Crawford, who's one of my favorite piano players in New Orleans, and he came up and played at the Dakota in Minnesota, and he was talking about the same sort of thing that I've always thought, which somehow all these music towns are connected through the Mississippi River. And that is what interests me as far as, look, you got Memphis, you got Nashville, you got all these sort of music places in the middle of America, and it's not really relevant to what's happening on the East or West Coast. It actually seems kind of backwards that the East and West Coast will refer to the middle of America as a flyover zone, but it really is, I think, where all the music comes from, to me anyways.